What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we are starting to get an inside peek of what lawmakers are requesting, what some senators are asking for when it comes to the next Build Back Better Act or the next stimulus package. Now, we've heard from President Biden, we've heard from Nancy Pelosi, we've heard from people like Senator Joe Manchin. It still revolves around Senator Joe Manchin. I hate to say it, but that's who this entire thing is going to go through, because as of right now, he is the one person that's holding everything up. So if you want additional stimulus or assistance or just relief, he's the one that you really have to turn to. So let's address what's happening right now, what we are seeing, and what we are going to continue to see over the next couple of weeks, because the expectation is we're going to see something most likely towards the beginning to middle of February, when we start to see the ball really start rolling. But the ball could ultimately stop. Okay, it could stop in exchange for passing the government funding bill, voting on the next Supreme Court justice, right? All these other issues could pop up and take the priority away from the Build Back Better Act or Build Back Better Act 2.0. So we'll see. But let's address what happened today. Because today, Representative Pramila Jayapal, she's really been pushing to see the Build Back Better Act passed. And she wants to see this passed, and she's urging the Senate to pass this bill before March 1st. Because she says, and I quote, "In the months since negotiations around the Build Back Better Act stalled, the case for this legislation has only become more urgent." I want to touch on that for just a second, because what we've been seeing, and I've been asking people, not just here in the community, but elsewhere also, is are you seeing a greater need for additional stimulus relief, more child tax credit payments, things going to people on Social Security and elderly and fixed income households? And the overwhelming majority say yes. They're seeing this because now people aren't relying on a stock market that was surging for the past 2 years. People aren't relying on income from, let's say, a rental property, because a lot of people have just moved out. Some people are worried that their homes and real estate is just going to come crashing down right after the market crashes. So there's a lot of worries, and I get it. There's a lot of uncertainty, but this is why Pramila Jayapal is saying that this piece of legislation is only becoming more urgent. It is becoming very urgent. It is something that I think a lot of people need. Now, when Federal Reserve, the White House, anybody says the economy is is doing great, it's booming, things are only getting stronger. In some cases they are, but I've said this before. We're seeing a K-shaped recovery where the upper class is seeing everything go up, but lower income earners are struggling. The economy went up, and now it's starting to go down. That's an issue. But Pramila Jayapal also went on and said this, and I quote, "There is agreement among Senate Democrats on specific parts of this bill: climate action, the care economy, taking the big pharma's price gouging, lowering healthcare costs. There's agreement on the need to reduce rising costs facing ordinary Americans, and that is exactly what Build Back Better does." And she ended with, "Public housing residents have endured devastating fires. The cost of insulin and other prescription drugs continue to crush working people. Parents are desperate for childcare support, and this desperately needed relief cannot be delayed any longer." Now, Pramila Jayapal is a progressive. She's the leader of the Progressive Caucus. Now, one thing I can tell you is that yes, progressives are pushing for everything. They want everything because they were actually promised that they would get a vote on everything, and they haven't. So they're going to continue to push for everything, and if they get half of what they asked for, it would still be a win in their book, and it would most likely be a win for many Americans. The only issue is, what does it do to inflation? Now, I bring this up because progressives are putting even more pressure on the Senate, on President Biden, and really anybody that will listen to get this done. Not only are they upset that their bill has taken far too long, but many are actually worried that not passing some form of relief or even parts of their agenda that they promised the American people, it's going to hurt them in the upcoming elections. So right now, they're going to put all their hopes and dreams into this one bill because they keep on saying this is their chance. This is their shot. Remember, Bernie Sanders said this a while ago, that this is Democrats' chance to pass a transformative bill that would change pretty much our projections, our economy, the lives of the American people, not just this year, but for potentially decades. So we're going to see what happens, but we do know progressives are wanting even more than they're being pretty much promised by President Biden. So we'll see. Also, what is even going to be in this bill? That's the question I know a lot of people have been asking. I wish I could tell you. Honestly, if somebody says, here in YouTube or social media or anything, that this is for sure going to be in the bill, I can tell you they're lying. Okay? I spend I would say I probably spent a good 6 hours, maybe 7 hours doing research for the video I did this morning and this video right here. And what I can tell you is even 7 hours of research, I can't tell you what's going to be in the bill. If I did, it would be a lie. Okay? But here is what we do know, because this is coming from representatives and senators, and these are actual things that they have said today. Now, we do know that Representative Jim Clyburn, that he wants to see the child tax credit payments be included into this bill. Will it? I don't know. He even said he is for a standalone bill, although Nancy Pelosi said it's not going to happen because they do not have that many budget reconciliations. So it just comes down to what they want to pass versus what they can actually afford to pass based off of their certain circumstances. But Representative Jim Clyburn, he said today, this was this morning, he said, and I quote, "I would like to see him come forward with a bill for the child tax credit that's means tested. I think it would pass. He'd get it through the Senate. I think we could get it through the House. So there's a lot of Build Back Better that he says he's for, so let's do that." But he also said that he'd support a lower income cap to revive this bill. A lower income, and I want to address what's being said versus the reality of the situation. Because I think so many people are like, oh, well, he said this, so let's do it. Well, one person says, let's lower the income, the income limit or cap, and let's lower it. According to Jim Clyburn, he'd be for $75,000 for an individual per year. So if an individual makes $75,000 or less per year, they should get the child tax credit payments. Here's a problem, and this is where what one person says, it actually contradicts what another person says. Because the only problem right now is that this would go against President Biden's promise that nobody making less than $400,000 per year would see a penny more in taxes. But, according to experts, cutting people from a benefit would be the equivalent of increasing their taxes. Okay? So you can't cut people that make less than $400,000 but over $75,000 from this bill. If you do, it's the same thing as just, increasing taxes. So where do we go from here? This is where we come back to what Senator Joe Manchin wants. And where does he stand? We know in a recent poll, and this came out today, 72% of West Virginia voters, they back Senator Joe Manchin's call to suspend the Build Back Better Act talks. We also know that this morning, Representative AOC, she said that Manchin keeps changing his mind, and he's asking for something different every day, making it tough for Democrats to pass Biden's agenda. But that doesn't mean his plan, his strategy is going to stop. He's going to continue to do what he's been doing for the past 5 to 6 months. And it's most likely just a stall tactic. But according to Senator Joe Manchin, he says, and this came out this morning, he says, there's a lot of conversations going on now. They've been reaching out and everything. We haven't sat down physically and started any negotiations. So everything has just been over the phone, which is fine. That's a good place to start. But what does this mean? He went on to say, and he ended his conversation with this, you should be scared to death about inflation and what it can do. Now, one of the things that I am worried about, and this kind of ties into the Build Back Better Act, but it mainly deals with inflation. If you didn't see my video from last week, I talked about how I was taking quite a bit of my portfolio. I was selling out of the stock market. I wasn't going to move my money yet, but I want to wait for the right time to re-enter because I had a feeling that stocks were going to drop. Well, they did, and they continue to drop. My worry is we are not going to get a grasp on inflation in a timely manner. I think the Federal Reserve may have screwed things up. We may have, kind of grew too quickly, and it might turn into an issue. But if this turns into an issue, then we are going to have to worry about inflation. And this is what Senator Joe Manchin says. He says we should be scared to death about inflation. Honestly, inflation, if you do not own a bunch of real estate, if you don't own a bunch of, even businesses that should struggle, but even the stock market, even if you own stocks, because of inflation, because of the worry there, everything is potentially coming down. This could cause a massive drop for real estate prices as well. So this is something that I think we all need to be worried about, or at least aware of. But Representative Clyburn, he did say that Senator Joe Manchin, he was for increasing health care coverage for lower income individuals through Medicaid. And according to Representative Clyburn, he said that he agreed that making health care and child care more affordable would increase the number of working adults. And that Senator Joe Manchin, for him, that is what he's truly after. Getting more people back to work, getting inflation under control, doing something with COVID. We have to control COVID. We have to minimize the surges, and so that we can finally open everything back up, go back to our normal lives, and everything will slowly recover. So that's what we know at this time. Again, I wish I could give you better news. I honestly wish I could give you much better news. The problem is, and I understand, because I see this all the time in the comments, how come you don't get better news? I wish I could. I honestly wish I could give you better news. I wish I could tell you there's a $2,000 monthly stimulus check coming. Inflation's coming down. We don't got to worry about it. Everything's getting better. COVID cases, they're subsiding. We're going to be beating this pandemic very soon. Honestly, I wish I could tell you all that stuff. But if I did, it would be a lie, because that's not what we're seeing. I would rather sit here and tell you the truth, see people hate on the video, hate on me, that's fine. Okay, I would rather tell you the truth than tell you a complete lie that I know is never going to happen, and you guys absolutely love the video and it gets millions of views. That's great. But I want to provide you with the facts because I know, I've seen them. There's a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of social media accounts. There's a lot of websites that are, they may not be reporting misinformation, but they're trying to bring you in and show you something that really isn't going to happen. So in a way, I guess it is misinformation, but they're just trying to lure you in through specific tactics. So again, I understand if you never want to watch one of my videos again because I'm being very, things are somewhat negative. I get it. I'm just trying to provide you with the facts and the truth. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.